This video is going to walk you through some of the basics of the free online image editor called PicMonkey. Now, PicMonkey has a lot of features that allow your creative juices to flow. It's a web-based image editor, so there's nothing to download and install, which also means that it doesn't matter what your operating system is. So long as you have access to a web browser, you can use PicMonkey. So head on over to picmonkey.com, and you can choose at this point if you want to edit a photo or if you want to create a collage. And there is also a paid version or an upgrade version, which I think is like $4 a month or $5 a month or $30 a year. And this just adds some additional flexibility and some features to your editing fun. But first off, we're going to try the edit a photo. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an image off of my computer, drag it over here and drop it in there. And over here on the left, you have the features that you can work with to enhance your image. To begin with, up here in the top of this, you've got your basic edits where you can either auto adjust, crop, rotate, adjust the exposure, adjust some colors, sharpen, and even resize. And next you've got some effects, and over here in the lower right corner of some of these effects you'll see this little crown. That means it's only available to the premium users. But as you can see though, there's plenty of these other ones in here that are available for everybody, free and premium. And then if you do have people in your image and not just objects, then this touch-up feature will work pretty good. And you can also add text, and there's a ton of free fonts in here available for you. All you have to do is just click on Add Text. A little text box pops up here. Type in your text and make it whatever font you want. And depending upon the font that you choose, you'll either have the bold and italic available, or neither, or one or the other. You can adjust the size and the color, and even just delete the whole thing altogether if you don't need it. And you can also add overlays. These are pretty cool. There's a ton of these in here that are available for the free user, and there are even more for the premium users. Plus, if you want to add an additional overlay of your own, you can do that by clicking on this button here. You can put a border around the whole thing, and you can even make further adjustments to that border. Adjusting the color of the interior to maybe better match the image that you have in there, and or the surroundings of where that image is going to end up, maybe on one of your blog posts. And you've got these textures. Again, depending upon what you're looking to have this image show will depend on if you're going to be using any of these textures and which one. And then for a little more fun, you've got these themes you can work with. So if you want to add a more vampire-esque look to the people in your image, you've got that option. More of the zombie look, you've got that option. So you can see for a free image editor, there's a lot of stuff you can work with here. And once you have your image set the way that you want, you can save it, you can share it on several different social networks, from Facebook to Tumblr and Pinterest and Twitter, and even email it. You can put in a little comment here below the image before you send it out, and then click on do it. But I'm going to go ahead and cancel. And if you do happen to make a mistake in here, you can just click the undo button. And when you're ready to save it, you just click on the save, give it a name, decide on what format you want to save it in, and you can choose from PNG or JPG. And if you want to change the dimensions, then you can do that right here. Just click on that, make the adjustments you want. And then down here under saving it, by default, you're saving it to your computer. But you also have the option of saving it to your Dropbox account. And that's it. That's how easy it is to use the photo or image editor in PicMonkey. This video will show you how to craft an image collage using the free web-based image editor called PicMonkey. Now let's make us a collage. Let me go ahead and drag an image over here and drop it into the collage box. Now over here on the left, you've got some of the options for you to work with in your collage creation. And that is here, you can import images and use those images in your collage, which here's the layout. And here's where you can choose from several different layouts. This one's just the default one, but if we were to pick something like elegant, you've got these sub layouts here as well. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. Now, one of the cool things about the collage, insofar as marketing is concerned, let's say, for example, that you're working on a blog that sells Amazon products, and you're writing a post on smoothies, and the product that you're promoting is a blender. Then you could use this type of layout setup and have the blender in the main window here and images of different smoothies on the outer windows here. For example, if we come on back here, I'm going to drag and drop that Blender image in there, move it around however I can to get the best image. That shows the power plant behind the Blender. Now of course you could also have images in here of other parts of the Blender or other angles of the Blender, but I'm going to save these slots for the smoothie images. And to get those, we click on the Open Photos, navigate to the location on our computer for those images, and I'm just going to hold the Control key down on my keyboard as I select several of these to fill in those boxes. Then click on Open. They populate this over here, and like with the Blender image, just left click, hold, and drag it on over to the box that you want. And I don't know if you notice or not, I'll go ahead and move these down a little bit. But whenever I drag this over, you can see this bar that shows up whenever I get outside of the boxes, even below. That allows you to edit the layout even further, but I don't like that. So I'm just going to close that up, drag this on over here like the original plan, and move that over there. But at least ways you get an idea now as to some of the things you can do with this. Now, like with the edit photo option, you've got these options up here where you can share it, you can save it, and here, just like over here, you can open up a directory on your computer to add more images from there. And you've got a couple other elements over here as well. If you want to throw in some different color swatches, maybe add a little more pizzazz to your collage, you've got these editing options as well. But here's the kicker. You can also take this back into your photo editor, and you can add a text box, you can put a frame around it, and then once you've finished it and made it look the way that you want it to look, come on up here, click on Save, give it a name, and let's go ahead and call this one Blender Collage. And by default you're saving it to your computer, but we check out this little drop down arrow and you can see that you can also add it to your Dropbox account. We're going to go ahead and throw it into the My Computer, named it, and I believe that's going to be a little on the big side of things. So if we wanted to make this smaller, then we come on up here. So I think by default it's, what was it, 2000 by 2000, that's pixels wide by pixels high. And here's where we can resize it. Yeah, it's actually larger than that. Make sure that you've got this box ticked, the Keep Proportions. That way, whenever you change one size, it's going to automatically change the other size to keep it in the proper proportions that you have here. So it won't look like it's been squashed or squeezed. Let's go ahead and change that to something that might look better in a blog post. A 675. That looks good. And you see how it changed that? Apply. And let's go ahead and save this. And you see it dropped the file size from, what was that, 400K to 70K. I'm going to go ahead and overwrite the existing one because that other one was just too big. Save. Select that to override it. Yes. Okay. Now I can add this image to my blog, make this image on the blog clickable to direct me to the Amazon page where that product's being sold. Again, just an idea. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on creating a collage using PicMonkey. This video is going to show you how to create a simple YouTube channel art using the free web-based image editor called PicMonkey. Then we're going to upload the newly created channel art to my YouTube channel. Now there's a lot that you can do here with PicMonkey, but this video will concentrate solely on the making of the YouTube channel art and not dealing with all the goodies of editing a photo or creating a collage or any of these other goodies that they have here on their site. It's really worth checking out if you have the time. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm referring to when I say YouTube channel art, well, if you head over to your YouTube channel, this is what I'm referring to right up here. It's the header or the banner area at the top of your channel, and right here is where you can add the channel art. You can edit the existing channel art right here, and this is your profile image. So whenever you create your channel art, you want to make sure that whatever you put in here will not be blocked by the profile image over here. The tricky thing about your channel art is that it has to look good on multiple devices, whether it's your TV, your mobile device, or your desktop. And if we click on the little edit button here, go to edit channel art, you can see down here that the recommended channel art size is huge. Well, it doesn't say huge, it says 2560 by 1440, but that's huge. And that doesn't make it that easy to create on a lot of image editors. So let's head on back over to PicMonkey, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my background image and drop it right over in here. in the Edit Photo option. And the first thing I'm going to do is crop it to the proper size, which again is 2560 by 1440. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this around so I can get some of those yellow lines up at the top there. Adjust the size. Click on the Scale Photo option. And as you hover over a lot of these, you get the little pop-up box that gives you some information related to that item. Like this one says, resize your photos to the exact pixel value specified. That's what I want. Click on Apply, and boom, there we are. Now we want to come on down to Overlay. That's the little butterfly looking thing over here on the left. And I want to add my own. And I'm going to select this one. And I'm going to move that over here. And you can make additional adjustments too, but that's fine for now. And I want to add another one. That's this one. And we want to put these as close to the center of our image as possible, but slightly to the right of the center, because that profile image is going to be right over in here. So keep that in mind whenever you're adding your particular images. Your images may be larger, may take up more space, but you'll see here in a second after I complete this the reason why I'm using these smaller icon style images. And I want to put a banner in between, and that's going to be down here a little bit further. Got elements, scrapbooky, here we go, banners, engraved banners. Let's go with this one here. And you can adjust these to various sizes. I'm going to put some text in there, so I may have to come back and adjust the size on that again. So for the text, I'm going to add the text box. I'm going to go with Arial Black so it stands out. Add text. Just select the box and start typing away. And depending upon what text you put in here, of course, depending upon what you're wanting your channel art to reflect, you may have to make some adjustments on the size of the banner or whatever you're doing. You may not even use a banner. Again, this is just something that I'm putting together. But I want to do that like so, and that like so. I'm going to move this a little bit over to the right of center. I'm going to move everything else just a tad bit to the right. That looks fine just the way it is. And let's get our text. Okay, I think that'll do. Now let's save. Give it a name. And you have the option to save it to your computer or to a Dropbox account if you have one of those. And I'm going to save it to the computer. And we're good. Now let's head on over to YouTube. I'm going to drag and drop that newly minted image right into the box here. And you've got a file size of 2 megabytes as a limit, which for most images are going to be pretty big. So you got plenty of room there. I think ours was only 900 kilobytes. And this gives you a bit of a preview here. That's what it looks like on the TV, on your mobile device, and on the desktop. So at this point, you may decide to go back and redo the image based on the previews that are given to you here. Or if everything looks right to you, then go ahead and click on Select. You can see it's saving it, and there it is. Now, had I moved it a little bit further to the left, then a little bit of it would have been blocked by the profile image here. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on using PicMonkey to create your YouTube channel art. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.